keys were out all over. Nobody could have any control on the keys. So we rekeyed, spent big bucks, and there was supposed to be a new program put in place to know where these keys were and when. Now, I never paid any attention, but number one is I find out that our keys are not individually numbered. I mean, which these old keys, before we went to this new deal, the old keys originally that we had, I'm sure Frank can remember, they had individual numbers on them.
And they only worked in certain.
No, but they also, your numbers, your key had a number like 123 or something. That it was signed out to you under that number. So they knew when the key 123 was missing, it was your key. You needed to find it or cough up. But now under these new keys, there's no individual numbering on it. So nobody knows what key, who's got it, where it went, anything else. The next thing is, when these keys are signed out, and going and just dropping them in a chute. I mean, I myself, if I take a key out, I'd be dang sure that I returned it to somebody, and somebody gave me a receipt that I turned that key back in. This is the sloppiest way I've ever seen in my life to be trying to control these keys. I mean, and then come up 4 or 5 months later and say, oh, we're missing a key. Now, come on, who's supposed to be keeping track of this? Maybe somebody else needs to do it. But it's no way in the world should this ever have happened. And there needs to be, like every key now, I think we need to get them stamped, have a signed number, and just you know what number your key is. Now, I looked at my key, and there's that up on the rubber part up on the top, they could stamp a number. But someplace, there's got to be a way that a number can be stamped on these keys. So everybody knows who's got what key.
Right there, mine says 206.
Yeah, so
You know, so all mine,
that's just.
they all say 206, I already made that survey.
Whose phone number is that?
Area code?
Oh, that's the way I.
No, I think the 206 has got to do with what's allowed on this key. That's I think probably Ken's key has got a different number on it.
Actually, the 206 is the blank. All the keys should have a 206 on them.
Is that the blank?
Yeah. And then the number on the back, and then there should be another number that gives you the
Phone number.
yeah, there should be another number on yours.
There isn't another number.
206 is the blank number.
Okay, well, anyway, I think this needs some immediate attention and needs to be corrected. And there's no way that I think we should be holding an individual hostage after 5 months. And I think that the person that's in charge of these keys needs to do some explaining.
I think I might have been with this group. I might have been there that night.
Actually,
Because we all walked out of the room.
Yeah, walked out of the room.
Oh, he just changed some locks.
He changed all the keys.
Yeah.
We had to get new keys.
My key wasn't changed.
The council member's keys will only work on the
Well, yeah, he just
city hall.
He just
and now
changed the
you
locks.
He changed all the locks.
Yeah, he just changed the lock, but I didn't give him a key.
Right.
No, we got new keys.
Yeah,
I
had
didn't.
my key in.
Because our keys used to open everything.
Well, yeah, but he just changed the code on the locks. He didn't change the key.
I got a new key.
I got a new key.
And then,
Well, I didn't get any new key. I got a problem.
When was this done?
So, and just to let council know that I had one guy come out here and fix it so that council can get into the other building as well. We can get into the back door here and the side door over at the gym.
No.
because I wanted to make sure council had access to all these buildings in case of emergency. And so they came out and fixed it, where it's the side door right here.
Side door.
Side door on the gym and the back door on the senior center.
And the door to the east room.
Yeah, and the door to the east. That before, the previous administration had made where council keys only worked right here to City Hall. You couldn't get into any of the other buildings, all those keys were changed. All those locks were changed.
All they had to do was just recode the tumblers in the lock. They didn't have to replace any keys.
So, and probably what I don't know, we all got new keys, that's all I know. But I know that the keys that council has now, that's how they work.
Yeah.
And for council's information, I did talk to, John Thompson this evening before council, and I had already told, Darcy this before, that we weren't gonna make him pay for those. We just wanted to make sure that he understood that that's our policy.
So is there a written policy in place about?
When you
checking
sign out a
keys?
key, it says that, you sign out saying that it will cost you $1,500 if you lose the key.
But how do we check that we're getting that exact key back?
Well, that I don't know, because that's the only key missing. All the other keys come back, and this has been brought up before February. This was not, February's not the first time that, this has been brought up. So, and I have emails where they were, contacting me. And I don't know exactly what the process is. Maybe Darcy, you can explain, or maybe you can't, I don't know. Joanne is the one that has been, taking care of the keys.
She does, the gym and the East Room, and then I do the senior center. And then when somebody comes in the day before their rental, they check the key out, we write the key number down. They get the key, the next day we go back and look to see if the key has been returned.
So the keys that you use for rental are numbered?
They're the same numbers that everybody else has. They don't have like a 1 or a 2 or a 3. They don't have individual numbers. It's the same number as everybody else has.
That's what you can't identify which key's missing.
No, you're right.
But those were that was the only key that was checked out, and that was the only one that was not returned.
Anyway, there needs to be better control on this.
You're right. No, I mean, I appreciate you bringing that, this coming forward.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I'm looking at my key and, you got a phone number on one side, I'm wondering if on the back side, if we could stamp serial numbers on all our keys, and then like, Councilman Steiger is saying.
Put a serial number on.
Yeah, put a serial number on it, and then have everyone sign for the key that they have, and that way we know who's guilty and who's missing.
So we had a situation where council members were being voted out of office and not turning their keys in and stuff. But fortunately, those keys were numbered, so they could tell whether when I was voted out of office, did I turn my keys in? They knew. But again, I think that just putting them in a Dropbox is not a good way to have it.
Dropbox is never a good way, because if you got 2 keys out and only one comes back, how do you know which one was turned in?
What would be the cost of upgrade to an electronic locking system?
I can answer that. $100,000.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to drop it into the box, into our little slot. You can bring it in the next day, and you can get a receipt. It's a convenient thing that when you're here on the premises that night, you just unscrew the little tube, and you put it in, and we check it the next day. But you can bring it in and get a receipt. That happens all the time.
I think we need to go to the receipt-only system, take it out, and then bring it back and hand it to you and give them the receipt. Get rid of the Dropbox. That simplifies everything.
I suspect a lot of users would prefer to still have a Dropbox, but I do think, judging by these pictures, we could, we had an issue before with the Dropbox that utility payments are made with too, and that one, when that got brought to attention, got upgraded a bit, because it used to be you could pull people's envelopes back out of there, and if they happened to pay cash, they didn't pay their bill that month.
But
Well-
the drop box would need to serialize each one of the keys. And then, when they check the key out, you put the number of the key. Because, like I said before, if it's on a weekend, you have 2 or 3 keys out, and they only one or two of them come back, and one's missing, how do you know which one it belongs to who?
Okay, what we could do to start with this right now is take, how many keys we have that we let out? 4, 5?
There's 4.
4 keys. Okay, we number those 4 keys.
Yeah.
Well, now there's only 3.
We number those 3 keys, and we get a 4th one made, or whatever, I mean.
If the
but-
shop has colored spray paint, you can just color them different colors.
So, but some way, so we can prove who did not drop a key.
I think a drop box is a good idea, but I don't think it's a good idea. Is there any way to make it like where it has to drop to the floor, or not like right there where
There's a shelf in there that you can't drop it to the floor. And it's not in there, I have been on my belly looking with a flashlight, and it cannot, the key physically cannot go underneath the shelf. There's a wooden lift that goes all the way down to the ground. There is a small space between the wall and that wooden lift, and there's no spiders back there because I've checked 4 times.
Does anybody check the ground on the front side of the drop box?
Yes, that has been checked out.
Anyway,
I think,
needs to be updated.
I
Doug?
think, we're getting into the weeds on the implementation side of things. Any further council discussion on this? Any further items for us tonight? We're done?